Now don't run from me, bro. Where are you going? I'll come here. Oh my. Hello, everybody. My name is King Kawato. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Today, we are here finally with our Ghost of Yotei Platinum video. This game was a lot of fun. I'm just going to get it out of the way, say it right off the bat. This was my game of the year. I haven't had this much fun with the game in a very long time. I'm on my like 5th or 6th, 7th playthrough of this game. Finally doing New Game Plus that they just added yesterday, along with a bunch of other huge content that they just released. And honestly, this game is so much fun. There's so many cinematic times in this entire game, and I platinumed this game on lethal difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty in the game. One of my favorite moments you're watching right now is the Oni fight. This fight was insane on lethal difficulty. I've seen a lot of people say that it's probably the hardest fight in the game on lethal, and obviously there's Takuzo the Unrivaled. But y'all just see like the cinematic moments, the masterpiece of this fight. He throws out a mountain splitter, so do I. He throws out a sword, so do I. Like just these insane dodges. He gets me on low health. We're on like the same amount of health. These crazy perfect dodges, and we're just clashing like titans. It was so much fun. And there's these cinematic moments scattered all throughout lethal platinuming a game, right? Like the hardest difficulty, the wolf showing up on these random bounties that we're doing, and just these perfect dodges left and right. I love this game, right? I usually like to do a live stream of us platinuming a game. If not, then I'll do like a full video dedicated to it. And we kind of did both for this game. Like I said, there's so many just like great moments throughout. And I do want to showcase a couple of trophies in particular that we kind of had, you know, an easy time with or a hard time otherwise. So I think, without further ado, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, Ghost of Yotei Platinum, let's get on straight into it. And first on our list was getting the rest of the armor. One of the easiest things to do in this game and to track is the hot springs. You guys can actually see they added a little line to indicate, yes, you indeed do have max health that you can have in the game. And they also give you the fun Doshi armor, which is from Ghost of Tsushima, of course. They brought it over, and it was just a phenomenal experience altogether. Next up, we went and did the Ainu people's quest line. And honestly, one of my favorite quest lines in the game. Really wholesome interactions with this cute little bear you find. And one of my favorite parts is with Hoochie.
Every lone wolf needs a pack.
And that right there really sums up Atsu's journey as a whole throughout this entire game. Is what is her role in this life other than being a vengeful spirit? And I love it. I think her entire journey, her character arc, and her growth is really showcased throughout the Ainu people. They're so wise, and honestly, they have a lot of really fun activities. One of the hardest trophies that we did, you guys see me celebrating right there, was getting a perfect 6 out of 6 in this archery minigame. Incredibly hard to do for whatever reason. To contrast that though, one of the easiest trophies by far in this game is the spear fishing trophy. All you have to do is catch 5 fish using your GOTY. Very self-explanatory, very easy to do. Literally no setup required. And another one I think is very natural for a lot of people to get just by playing is the bounty hunter trophy. Getting all of the bounties done in this game, and there's a lot of really cinematic duels just by completing this, where the wolf shows up and tackles down my opponents. I mean, it's unmatched how many cinematic moments this game has, paired with like Watanabe mode or any other of the like cinematic director modes. Very, very visually stunning and pleasing to look at. One of my other favorite activities I got insanely cracked at was the Zeni Hachiki coin game. Y'all saw that insane trick shot for the win. On the mom too, no less. Guarantee she whooped me for that. Moving on to the more peaceful activities this game has to offer was going around and finding the shamisen inspirations to conduct new songs for your shamisen. And it's really cool. I mean, this is a big part of Atsu's character. Obviously, she learned how to play the shamisen from her mother, who passed down a couple of songs. And that's something that she really carries throughout this entire game. There's also a lot of influences in the afterlife and speaking to the dead relatives that Atsu has, using her shamisen to play music. And it's just a beautiful piece of culture that really is showcased in a perfect and beautiful light throughout this entire game, which I really appreciated. And a really cool part was the shamisen songs actually help you track down certain things. One of them that you learn is for vanity gear, so it helps you track down sword kits and other armor pieces like hats and masks that are randomly scattered throughout the overworld. And some of the best cosmetic sets in this game I found this way. I will admit there is a couple of times that my game did something it wasn't supposed to, like when these random people jumped out and started attacking me through this cave. And it's really funny, you see this where they came out of, this random room with one box in it. I don't know where they spawned from, but they were on me like bread and butter. Pause! Next up was going through all of the different wolf camps and liberating all of the wolf's friends. The wolf dens provided a really cool way to connect with Atsu's character and her relation to other characters, and in this case, the wolf, throughout the entire game. Obviously, the wolf comes out to help, and just some really cool moments with the wolf, like hunting them down and punishing all of those that would hurt the wolves. And you really see this growth. This is something I didn't come in contact with at all in my first initial playthrough on YouTube. But one of the really cool aspects of this is you get cutscenes, and little by little, Atsu connects and grows with the wolf. It starts off with giving her some pieces of fish, and it ends with a really cool moment where you finally make that contact, a peaceful connection, a moment of bonding between Atsu and the wolf. And in many cases, you really do learn that the wolf probably has a similar journey to you. You don't learn much about the wolf other than the fact that Atsu fed it one time and it's just been following her since the beginning of the game, and even a little bit of time prior to that. But I just think it's a really peaceful moment. What wasn't a peaceful moment was this random dude that can sometimes spawn in your camp. I've seen a lot of people say that they spawned him in like their third camp setup. I literally had to spend probably like 2 hours setting up my camp, tearing it down, and rebuilding it just so this dude could randomly walk up to the camp. He teaches you the final shamisen song required for the trophy for shamisen songs. There's only 6 in the game, and this dude is hiding one of them. For whatever reason, he didn't want to teach me his song until very later on into the game. And it took me about 3 hours, probably like 2 hours actually, of just like rebuilding my camp over and over. But we got the final shamisen song done and out of the way with. It took me a lot of time. Probably the trophy that took the most amount of time was this one right here. He gives you the Song of Shrines, which leads into our next trophy that allows us to track down all of the shrine climbs to get some charms, but more importantly, to get a beautiful look into the entire world. And some of the best visual shots are from the top of these mountains next to these shrines and looking down at the rest of Ezo. And one of the really cool things you get is by completing all of them, you will get, I believe, a Death Stranding mask. This is the golden mask where life and death meet, and it's just a very cool nod to a pre-existing IP. And there's a lot of really cool things that you'll see later on down the road that are Easter eggs to other games. Something I really enjoy about another game is Resident Evil's puzzles. And something that carries over in that puzzle aspect to this game that I really enjoyed was the puzzle boxes. Something that's very visually pleasing to look at, just to see all of the different patterns change with all the boxes. And there's a lot of different patterns throughout these. This one took me an insane amount of time. This is the most difficult puzzle. Probably here for like 5 minutes. And we finally got it cracked open. We got a really nice piece of armor, a mask called the Warcry mask, which is a recolor of the blue Yamauba mask. It looks really nice all together though. And I really like this part of the game. Really nice. I love the audio design for these boxes. And funny enough, the last box I needed for this trophy to track it down and get 100% was actually the tutorial box, which I forgot to do on this playthrough, the save file, for whatever reason. So we got this done and out of the way with, and then we got our trophy for getting all of the puzzle boxes done, which was a very fun process. One of the most innovative parts of this game, I think, is the way that this game utilizes the touchpad on the PS5 controller. I love doing the Sumi-e paintings. You get a really nice view of the landscape as a whole, but you also get this companion piece that Atsu paints down that showcases whatever she sees, and more importantly, how she sees the world and what you're looking at. You get a nice reference point of what she's painting and also how she paints it, and I just think it's really nice. Next up, we tracked down all of the Fox shrines, and doing this actually awards you with a very beautiful, stunning garden called the Sanctuary Grove, which is a really nice place It's a really nice lady. She resides there, and she has a lot of bears and foxes and deer and a lot of other wildlife. And she takes care of them. And whenever you get all of the foxes from the fox shrines, they'll go to her and they'll give you this nice mask, which I just think is a really nice touch. Next up was tracking down the hidden spots to either play your shamisen or to bow at. And honestly, if it wasn't for the trophy dedicated to tracking down these locations, I probably wouldn't have found much of them, if definitely not all of them, right? And it's really cool. There's just a little Easter egg dedicated to each one of the landmarks, and you'll also get a little particle effect. Sometimes I'll even track down Atsu and follow her for a little amount of time, like this purple butterfly. Other times, it's just like a cool little Easter egg, like the fish. Next up was also tracking down some of the cosmetics in this game, and one of my favorite sword kits by far is the Infamous Strike. Sucker Punch IP, of course, for those who don't know, Infamous was a phenomenal PlayStation 3 game, one of my favorites of all time, and this one pays homage to that. It's fully dedicated to Cole McGrath and his paths throughout the game, right? You have the good and the evil paths to go down through, and then you also have the electricity that pays homage to the powers that Cole McGrath has, and it's just a really cool touch. I used the shamisen song to track down all of the vanity gear, which also brought me to the Unbreakable Elegance hat, which is the hat you're seeing right now. One of the coolest hats ever. And you really think to look in a lot of spots that you wouldn't otherwise ever think to look at, thanks to the shamisen song. Like at the very top of this temple up here, where we get a really cool Nightfall's Shield hat. And even though the vanity gear wasn't required for platinuming this game, I went ahead and did it, obviously, because this game makes it really easy to track down a lot of these activities, including the altar. Yeah, I saw right there, Isaburo, the cartographer, leaves you a really nice message. And, you know, tracking down these Zenihachi games, which was one of the last things I needed to do. You guys can see right here for 100% completion and progress to this game. Wasn't required for the trophies, but I really liked to do it. And one of the last things you guys saw was me platinuming the game live. I did a live stream last week where we finished the game on lethal difficulty, beating Saito, which was an insane fight, of course. And finishing this game live was just a really fun activity. I love live streaming this game. Has had some really cool interactions so far. Watching you guys interact with me, watching me play the game, and learning some new things from y'all throughout the chat. And this final part you guys can see right here, I'll let it play, where we get the final platinum trophy on live stream. Check it out.
Got that Saito bastard.
Oh,
for all of us.
We did. There it is, y'all. Our trophy gifts for a ghost, and then our platinum trophy. And that concludes our platinum journey through Ghost of Yotei. This video was just a small little love letter to this game, one of my favorite games of all time for sure. And with it, I want to leave you one of my favorite quotes from Huchi of the Ainu people.
Situ Rainu. Why do you always call me that? It means one who is easily lost in the hunt. I am not blind to what you do with the weapons you carry. But like me, maybe you can find a better path.
Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey through Ghost of Yotei. I definitely want to play more of the New Game Plus and everything that this game has to offer in future updates. I will definitely be seated down day one to experience with you guys. If you guys made it this far into the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, as I do post content like this daily. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, take care, peace, adios, and enjoy the simple things in life. Bye-bye, y'all.